Now moving on to news from Bangladesh, where a court has sentenced former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to 21 years in prison in 3 separate corruption cases linked to land allocations in a government housing project. The Dhaka Special Judge Court issued the verdict today, stating that the 78-year-old former Premier would serve 7 years in each case and that these sentences would run consecutively. In addition to prison terms, the court has imposed a fine of $820 in each case, with Hasina facing an extra 18 months in jail if the payment is not made. Now, today's corruption verdict comes shortly after a separate and far more severe ruling came on the 17th of November, where the International Crimes Tribunal sentenced Hasina to death after finding her guilty of ordering a crackdown on a student-led uprising that unfolded between July and August last year. Let us now listen to the statement given by a public prosecutor after the court announced its verdict today.
এবং উনি এই 3টি মামলাই আসামি হিসাবে আছেন। ওনার সাজা হচ্ছে 7 বছর করে 3 সাতা 21 বছর এবং ওনার জরিমানা হচ্ছে 3 লক্ষ টাকা, 1 লক্ষ টাকা করে 3 লক্ষ টাকা, অনাদায়ে 18 মাস বিনা শ্রম কারাদণ্ড।
The prosecutor has said that the verdicts also identified Sheikh Hasina's son Sajib Wazid and her daughter Saima Wazid as the principal accused in their respective cases. And now we want to welcome Shruti Das Gupta, who's an international affairs expert, live from New Delhi, joining us here on NewsX World. Thank you, Shruti, for joining us and giving us your time. Now, this is further setback for Sheikh Hasina. What options is she now left with to appeal for her case?
Greetings. Thank you so much for inviting me. What I do understand is that this Purbanchal housing complex case is a long drawn history. It was first announced in 1995, where the BNP was in power and Sheikh Hasina was not ruling Bangladesh at that time as a premier or a prime minister, and in fact it has suffered about 8 revisions. It is delayed. It is not expected to be completed even by 2030. Corruption is normal in certain circumstances like this, when they face opposition from the locals, when the villagers are not willing to part with their land, when they have a continuous revision process. So the Purbanchal housing complex, which was supposed to be finished by 2010, again not before Sheikh Hasina took over power. So this is a completely different ball game. There are more than one pawn involved in this kind of a corruption. As we've seen, there are 23 odd people who were convicted of corruption. Only one junior member was pardoned, as his involvement was found to be null and void. But what I understand is that they have put a fine on her that if she does not pay would add another 18 months to her sentence. Basically, if she pays the fine, then she's admitting to guilt. And if she's not, then a 78-year-old with another 22, 23-year-old prison sentence would end up being in jail for the rest of her life, probably even die there if Bangladesh ever got their hands on her. She has no she has no recourse. It's done in absentia for all of them. I think only one person attended. One other person who was convicted attended, and he was convicted to 3 years. So everybody who has been tried in absentia. They've not been allowed to kind of present their point of view, or even a clarification of if their particular role impacted the project or whether they were involved in the scams that happened. But I'm pretty sure that there are many other fingers in this particular pot of the Purbanchal project, and Hasina has been made a political scapegoat for this, because it's convenient to find her guilty and find her party members, her family members guilty, because they will not come to Bangladesh. And this is like getting their pound of flesh while they can, kind of an act. And I hope there is no other recourse for her. She has to wait until there is an elected government where she can actually have a semblance of justice towards her cause. Otherwise, she has no cause but to sit quietly and deny the charges.
But isn't the timing of the verdict questionable itself, given that elections are due in February? And with the upcoming elections, should we expect more political uprising in Bangladesh? And
Of course, yes.
uncertainty with the
already-
polls itself.
Yes, there is already a lot of on-ground reporting that is showing that Bangladesh is not calm at all. There are supporters of Awami League and Sheikh Hasina that are out there on the roads protesting every day, regrouping every day. There is a media ban there which does not allow honest reporting on these occurrences. But what this particular verdict, which was followed by the ICT verdict, shows that there is a political agenda behind convicting her, so that even if the ICT verdict, which in my particular opinion is invalid because it violates Bangladesh's own particular law, so if that is invalid, at least the corruption case, they've got her on the corruption case. So they're trying to find, they're trying to build a net around her and her narratives to find her guilty of something or the other, so that the people feel, vindicated that we have got her, we have found a way to keep her out of politics, we found a way to show that Awami League was corrupt and was not part of the development of Bangladesh. And such a political message coming where the elections are announced shows that there are absolutely no way that Awami League would be allowed by the present regime to participate under at least their particular logo of Awami League.
All right, Shruti, thank you for joining us and sharing your opinions here with us at NewsX World. But I request you to stay on, as I would like your opinion on another story going